Tug-of-war, balancing insulin and carbs for stable blood sugar. When it comes to managing type 1 diabetes, the struggle isn't just about numbers on a meter, it's about balance. Imagine a schoolyard tug-of-war game. On one side, you have insulin, on the other, carbohydrates. In the middle hangs a flag that represents your blood sugar level. The goal isn't to let one side win outright, but to keep that flag right in the center. This is the essence of the tug-of-war concept in diabetes management. Understanding the tug-of-war analogy. In a classic tug-of-war game, two teams pull on opposite ends of a rope, each trying to drag the marker, often a flag, toward their side. In the diabetes version, insulin and carbs are the opposing forces. Insulin's role. Insulin works to lower blood sugar. When you administer a bolus before a meal, it's like insulin is pulling the flag downward, working to counteract the rise in blood sugar. Carbs' role. Carbohydrates, once ingested, cause blood sugar to rise. They're like the team pulling the flag upward as your blood sugar climbs. The flag. The flag represents your blood sugar level. The goal is to keep it in a stable target zone. The ideal scenario is that neither side wins the tug-of-war outright. Instead, the forces balance perfectly so that the flag stays in the middle, a steady, stable blood glucose level throughout the post-meal period. Timing is everything. One of the critical insights of the tug-of-war analogy is timing. When you eat, your blood sugar starts to rise quickly. However, insulin doesn't work instantly. There's a natural delay between when you bolus or inject insulin and when the insulin actually begins to lower your blood sugar. Here's where the concept really shines. Pre-bolusing. By administering insulin ahead of time, a process known as pre-bolusing, you allow insulin to get a head start. When the carbohydrates begin to raise your blood sugar, the insulin is already working to pull it down, keeping the flag from moving too far in either direction. Adjusting for the lag. If you don't pre-bolus, the carbohydrates might win the early part of the tug-of-war, causing a spike in blood sugar. Then you find yourself scrambling to catch up with corrective insulin, a reactive approach that often results in unwanted highs and lows later on. In essence, the idea is to dictate the pace of the game by anticipating the tug-of-war rather than simply reacting to it. When you set the pace by carefully timing your insulin with your meals, you're more likely to maintain that delicate balance, ensuring your blood sugar remains in your target range. Visualizing the battle on your CGM. For many people with diabetes, continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, provide real-time data that mirrors this tug-of-war. You can see the arrows indicating rising or falling trends on your CGM display. In our analogy, a rising arrow means that the carbohydrate side is pulling too hard, and without adequate insulin already in place, your blood sugar will drift higher. A falling arrow suggests that insulin is dominating, and if you don't counterbalance it, perhaps with a small snack, you might end up too low. By visualizing these trends as part of an ongoing tug-of-war, you can fine-tune your strategies. Whether it's adjusting your pre-bolus timing, rethinking your carbohydrate counting, or recalibrating your basal rate, understanding this dynamic can empower you to make smarter decisions throughout your day. Practical tips for winning your tug-of-war. Here are some actionable strategies to keep that flag centered. Pre-bolus effectively. Aim to administer your meal bolus 15 to 20 minutes before eating. This head start gives insulin time to act as the carbohydrates enter your bloodstream. Monitor trends closely. Use your CGM's trend arrows as a guide. If you notice a steady upward trend despite your pre-bolus, it may be time to adjust your insulin dose or review your carb count. Adjust your basal settings. If you find that your blood sugar often falls after a meal, indicating too much insulin, it might be a sign that your basal rate is too high. Conversely, frequent post-meal spikes might suggest you're underdosing. Stay flexible. Remember that your body's needs can vary from day to day. Stress, exercise, and even hormonal changes can shift the balance, so be prepared to adjust your strategy accordingly. Learn from each meal. Every meal is an opportunity to learn. If you see that the flag moves slightly one way or the other on your CGM, consider what adjustments could keep it centered next time. The bigger picture. The tug-of-war analogy isn't just a neat mental image, it's a powerful way to reframe your approach to diabetes management. Instead of feeling like your blood sugar is a runaway train or a battle you're doomed to lose, you can see it as a game where you have the power to set the pace. By understanding the interplay between insulin and carbohydrates, you're not just reacting to your blood sugar, you're proactively managing it. Moreover, this concept encourages a more positive mindset. It shifts the focus from blaming yourself for non-compliance or for things going wrong to recognizing that diabetes is dynamic and that you have the tools to keep things in balance. Every adjustment, every pre-bolus, and every minor tweak is a step toward mastering your own tug-of-war. Final thoughts. Managing diabetes is an ongoing battle, and sometimes it feels like you're constantly in a tug-of-war with your body. However, with thoughtful planning, precise timing, and a bit of practice, you can learn to balance the forces at play, ensuring that your blood sugar stays where you want it to be. Whether you're a longtime veteran or new to the diabetes journey, remembering this simple analogy can serve as a constant reminder. You're in control. Keep that flag centered and let the tug-of-war work in your favor. To learn more, listen to the Juicebox podcast on your favorite audio app or at juiceboxpodcast.com. It is always free.